up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, yeah, this is a late review, but I don't really care because Carlos announced that Love and Marriage Huntsville is going through a 3-week hiatus due to the Olympics, which I don't believe. And OWN just dropped a super trailer for what's going to occur the second half of this season, which I'm going to give a separate thoughts about it. So let's get to the first part. We get to Stormy. She's moving into a new warehouse. Very happy for her. She's coming from a high of being in LA doing a TikTok live where she made $1 million in sales, which is a record sale. She's traveling back to LA to do another live show. She's super happy. They might end up buying a house in LA, which is a good thing to do. But while I am happy for Stormy's success, I do want her to get a better handle on her customer service skills. They are horrible. Finding out that she blocked the customer because she asked where her product was, her order. Stormy wanted to block her to teach her a lesson because she assumed that she was a troll. Finding out that she was a frequent customer, she had to apologize and wanted to bribe her for her forgiveness. But that's not going to always help you, Stormy. You're not going to always get a troll in your comments if they're asking you for your order. You're going to have to silence those trolls and be about your business and be about handling your customers with proper care and courtesy. So moving on from there, we get Stormy trying to tell Courtney about Martell admitting that he do know Trish and he invited her out to his house a couple times. Courtney don't know nothing about that because when they went bowling, he didn't say nothing about it. He knew he wasn't going to because he's afraid of Ken. And I got annoyed all throughout this episode with the way that Stormy wanted to pretend like she did not know about it. Like, he just told me, it fell into my lap. I ain't trying to be all up in the mix. I ain't trying to be all up in the middle. Like, I don't know what to do with this information. Like, it just came to me. Stormy, get the fuck out of here. You are a bad actress. Don't pretend you did not know any of this. And how is it that you and Trish are supposed to be friends of 10 years? And you bring her on to the show to be a friend of yours, but you allow her to be eaten up by the wolves. You're not letting her know how this can make her look. You're not telling her to nip this in the bud. You trying to put her in a situation with Martell to make it even worse for herself, make it worse for her relationship with Ken. Yes, Stormy, you are not a friend as you pretend you are. And I don't have time. And I'm going to move on from there. We get Martell and Destiny. Destiny come over to have a scene with Martell because she don't have any other friends on this show. He drinking coffee, but she decides to have a little commercial for Martell for his Inez wine because Martell don't pay people to promote his products. I don't know what time it is, but it's very early in the morning to be drinking a glass of wine. Did you eat anything? I don't know. Destiny spoke about her father being sick, but he's back, he's better, getting his weight up. Then she showed a picture of her son on a keychain, his school picture. And Martell makes a joke that he looks just like his Uncle Martell. While she laughing, looking around like, I know you didn't just say that. I don't know why you didn't just speak up and say, Martell, don't play like that. You know who he looks like. Don't play like that. That's the problem that I have with Destiny. You allow for everything that Martell say to roll off your shoulders, but you get so mad about anybody else who calls you out for your bullshit. Make it make sense for me. I don't get it. So Martell decides to tell Destiny about him and Chris showing Moses and Sonny a house because they're planning to move out to Huntsville. Here she goes, complaining, wondering, why are they moving here? Because they're going to be a part of the show, Destiny. And they're the only reason why you are here. If you wanted to separate that what happened between Moses is in the past, you don't want nothing to do with it, you get it, people are going to have things to say, but let's focus on you. I'm going to need for you to do that. Because I feel like you are trying to present yourself to be this victim, that things were just done to you. You have to just deal with it. You didn't expect for this is a crock of shit to me. Okay? And your whole excuse about when you date long distance and when you decide to be done with someone, you leave them and you never get back with them again because you don't live in the same place. How is it that this was supposed to be someone you crying over, live in different places, never expected to be in the same place if y'all wanted to have this future together? Y'all talking about children, you talking about marriage, but yet you don't want to work for it. You just want the benefits of it. I don't understand that. That to me lets me know, Destiny, you would prefer somebody who already is in a situation. And if they had that type of situation where they can come back and break up and nothing can ever change, you can come in, do what you want to do, get what you want and be done, you are okay with that. Because you don't like being around someone for a long period of time. You don't want to be all smothered up with them. But you want to have the benefits of what they can give you in that time frame that you are okay with being available to them. Other than that, you don't want to be bothered all the time. And I don't understand that. I really don't. So we get to Moses and Sonny talking about the company that he has. He has a logistics trucking company called Justice Law. And remember when Destiny and Moses sat down, Justice was supposed to be a child they were going to have, but still added law to it. But Destiny, you also said, you name my baby after my child, Law. But he didn't say law, he said justice. So that right there, Destiny, was where a lot of people are wondering, did you mean to say that? Do you have doubts that Law isn't LeBaron's son? Law could be Moses's? That's what everybody is trying to understand, because why would you want to say that? And Sonny is doing most of the talking to explain that the name was made up when they were talking about having future children together. But I get it. Having a name for your child is a sacred thing. You want to keep it close to the chest. You want nobody to steal it. So it could be a bit nervy that he still chose Justice Law Logistics, even though he can use justice however you want to use it. But using your son's name is a bit nervy. And why aren't you looking at it from a different way? Why aren't you mad? You're looking at it as you feel special. You are living in a land of milk and cookies if this man is giving hints that he still thinks about you because he chose to use your son's name in the business. No, it could read like that, but once explained, it's just an LLC. It's just a name. Like Sonny said, we're going to get more. But what I don't like is the way that people are just making a bunch of jokes about Sonny and Moses' marriage. But I hope they get a fix on that. I really do. But even if that's the case, though, Destiny, you said this man wasn't man enough for you. This man did not show up to be that man for you. That's why you didn't want to have children with him. But he stopped the money. That's when you wanted to get mad. But it's stupid. It's all stupid. So, I don't know. But I think Sonny Moses knew that this situation was going to be talked about, was going to be bigger than what it was. I don't have time. But it's kind of like you saying, why are they even mentioning me if this is supposed to be about them finding a house? Why are they always talking about me? The same way you bring them up when no one else is going to bring them up. You went with breakfast, what's that, candle making with Trish and Tisha, and you wanted to brag about how you can get Moses back without a doubt because he knows what it is. So you can proclaim that this man could easily come back at you. He could easily crawl back to you. But a man can't bring about how he has a name after your business, a name after your baby. He can't talk about that. I don't get it, Destiny. I really don't. Martell wanted to mess with Destiny's mind. I think she likes her mind being messed with to say that, oh, he might want you back because he kept the name. He do not want her back. He has made it clear Sonny is the woman for him. He do not think about Destiny in that way. Okay? Oh my God. Then he's all about side chicks, side dudes. We got them all. And Destiny's talking about you have a propriety to lying with losers. You are the number one loser, Destiny, because you align yourself with him with everything he do. And you don't find nothing wrong with it. And then she's all about, why would they want to move here? They should not want to be moving here. Why are they all up in my space? Why are they trying to infiltrate my circle? Destiny, do you hear yourself? You do not own Huntsville. You cannot make nobody move nowhere. God damn, not everything is about you, Destiny. You really need to get a hold of yourself. Everything is about you. Take away your hiding sense of self away from me with this. Then what Martell said really got into her fucking head. That maybe Moses still does have a thing for me. If he wants to keep the name of the business, maybe he still does. Girl, you need help. You really do. I feel like Destiny's the type of woman who wants to accept any part of what a man wants from her, but without wanting the whole thing. Because you're still not a man's first choice, Destiny. But I think you don't mind that. As long as you are attached to a man in any kind of way, you are satisfied. But I'm going to move on. And this whole infiltrate my friend circle, bitch, bye. If Melody was to ever have that type of energy when it came down to her and Martell and everyone is trying to be in the middle, people would look at Melody and be like, you don't own me. You can't tell me where to go. You can't say I'm not loyal to you. But Destiny could do all of that. She can say it's checks over friendship. Bitch, yes, the fuck it is. That's why you came back on this show, to get a fucking check. Get the fuck out of here. You traded your integrity and your morals for a check. Miss me. Then we're back with Destiny, Trish, and Stormy. They working out. I don't care. Stormy comes back from LA from traveling with TikTok and, moving into a new warehouse and trying to make sure production is still going better, still going. Because while moving, she still get these orders out. I think that Destiny wishes she was where Stormy is. Because hearing Stormy's story, how she had a bad year, she almost lost her business. Now that she's back on top, she is succeeding. She's reaching a new level every time. Destiny said, hearing that gives me inspiration because I went through those same trials. Well, I need you to talk about those trials, Destiny. Talk about how it felt when you lost Madani. Talk about how you felt when you were arrested twice. Talk about it. And you coming with a body oil, maybe a body fragrance as well. I hear you got some t-shirts out, but I'm not hearing you promote them. So I'm gonna need for you to do that. And then we get to Trish. Trish talks about having the conversation with her children about marrying Ken. They cool with it. She gets to her sister because none of her sisters know about her separation with Marquez, which I don't think is not even that deep to me. You don't have to know everything that goes on in your family's life because certain family members like to be private. But if you want to keep that relationship, then you're going to have to just not worry about what type of criticism, what type of judgment they might pass on because it's not their life, it's your life. So knowing that this thing with Ken became serious, now she wants to, start introducing him to everybody, start promoting the relationship better instead of keeping it in their love bubble, keeping it in their safe space where she don't got to worry about all the comments, all the snickerings, all the, oh, wow, I can't believe it. Because it pissed me off with the sister trying to convince her to stay in a marriage with a man that didn't even want to be with her. Marquez admitted he never truly was in love with Trish. He left the marriage when she needed him the most. So that I don't get. So after that, Stormy came up with the understanding that it could be a lot to tell your family about your life, especially with a divorce, but at the end of the day, don't give a fuck about their opinions. I'm just letting you know. So Destiny's talking about, you're in this new relationship, but the marriage is still legally binding. So what was it y'all couldn't fix? Instead of Trish just admitting that it was around the time in 2020 when my parents passed away and my sister, and he did not show up for me. Then he left. Then I found Ken and he moved to another state. She didn't want to be all detailed. She just said past trauma, past hurt, so much loss, lack of support, which is, it's self-explanatory. But it's just the way she gets so tense and tightened up when it comes to these conversations to communicate how she feels that really bugs me. And she talks about finalizing the divorce. He came into town, they're going to finalize the divorce. But I didn't like the way that Stormy and Destiny wanted to convince her maybe there's some things they could fix. No, there's nothing they could fix. Even if there were things they could fix, the marriage won't be the same. And, this was a long time coming. Now to really have it be done, I'm ready for it to be done. There's no fixing it. Destiny ends up talking about her therapy, how she wants to involve Trish in her therapy. And she also, to me, it came off like she's trying to give a statement towards the public of stop trying to feed or interpret what happened between her relationship with LeBaron because nobody knows the ins and outs of a marriage if you're not there. So even if you are trying to give advice to someone who are in a marriage and maybe there's some things they could fix, you still don't know all the details. And nobody might take advice from someone who don't know all the details. And might not take advice from someone who's also divorced. So I don't know. Destiny was giving a very general, a broader type of statement. It kind of made me believe that she didn't like how everyone is still trying to understand and know what happened between her relationship with LeBaron. So since I can't tell Trish what to do, y'all don't need to tell me what I need to do. But other than that, we get to Stormy dropping the bomb that Martell did admit that Trish did come over to his house. She did win. So now she's like, it happened over 4 years ago. He sent her a DM to work out. And this was around the time Martell and Melly were going through their divorce. And of course, it's speculation if it occurred when they were still living together or not, but I don't even care. It's not far-fetched to believe that Martell was still talking to other women while still dealing with Ariane. So this is a problem that Trish should have handled from the beginning. This is why it's looking like Trish is a liar. Because once Martell said he did not remember you, you should have nipped in the bud from the jump and say, you know what, this is funny because this is why I was brought here. He wanted to pretend like he didn't know me and I was supposed to follow the same plan and make it bigger than what it was. But this was something that happened 4 years ago in a DM. Nothing happened. Yes, I did go to his house. Nothing happened. And it was supposed to be a conversation between him. Just that whole scene irritated me because Destiny looked confused that she didn't know, but she did. You knew that Martell and Melody were married almost 4 years ago and they were going through divorce. So Stormy wants to keep on repeating, but he said you went to his house. It's been established, Stormy. She did go to his house. Why are you, again, you supposed to be a friend. Why are you trying to embarrass your friend by pushing her to admit what did or didn't happen with Martell? But she said nothing happened. And if she did, she would have been gladly to say something did, but she didn't say it. But again, like I said, Trish, you a fool if you allowed this to affect your relationship with Ken. You should have ended it from the beginning. Martell making a bigger deal than it needs to be because he doesn't have a storyline. So using your situation, your entanglement, your involvement 4 years ago while him and Mel were still together, not together, that was a big mistake on your part, okay? But I'm moving on because I'm done with it. So we got Marshall and Tisha. Black is closed. According to this episode, according to this time frame, Black is closed. They have been dealing with the city, being received tons of calls complaining about it. She says none of them are true. But I'm just like, people can't just call the city and make a complaint without having evidence to back it up. So this happened during homecoming weekend. And it was a parking issue with the church, I guess, across the street. And Marceau did not ask the church across the street if they can use their parking lot for their homecoming because the parking lot where Black is on is a very small parking lot. There's not a lot of spaces. So he did not go through the proper channels to, I guess, get a proper permit, a proper parking permit for his other clients to come that homecoming weekend to have a place to park. Because he's fighting with the city 4 hours before the event, before they had it shut down. And he's mad because the church felt like you blindsided them. You did not go through them. Because if you want to just use other people's parking lots, and other people's place of business for your event and not let them know, you're taking money from them. How you got their patrons coming in to park and be about their business when they don't have no place to go? Like, that don't make no sense to me. That's not how that works. You should have given them a heads up. But then it's people in the community petitioning to shut them down. Because the way that he has been, maybe not being more forthcoming, maybe not being, proper in communication, being a proper businessman with the other companies, the other businesses on that street. And he's all about, I'm being unfairly targeted. I've had a target on my back and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, listen, excuse me, what you keep on saying, people have been calling the city to get y'all shut down. People can't just call the city. That's just like when y'all had y'all Bet on Black event, someone called the city to say y'all were illegally gambling. Instead of you coming out with saying, oh no, that's not true, we have the proper paperwork put in place. You didn't do that. You just allowed for one person to make a claim that you could have easily debunked. Y'all just didn't want to have the event. You probably couldn't afford to have the event, or you didn't have the proper paperwork put in place. Like, that makes no sense to me. You want to just go off on a phone call. People don't have the power to just call something and it gets done. Unless there was an inspection y'all didn't pass, unless there was some unpaid taxes y'all didn't do, because apparently that's what I'm hearing right now. Y'all did not pay y'all use tax, which is the furniture that you got from Wayfair, Amazon. Okay, well, if you're using it for an establishment, I think there's a tax attached to that you got to pay monthly for. You don't just pay it off and not have nothing else to pay. That's just like with the building you guys are in. You pay a monthly fee. You pay a monthly note. You pay to have your liquor license renewed. You pay to make sure all of the appliances are nice and upgraded. You still got to pay for a business that you own. You don't just stop paying for it because you bought it, you built it. No, you got to keep it up. The same with Scott Marin, the same with Uptown. You got to keep paying for it. But then trying to make it seem as if where they are is the best place, is the biggest thing they brought back to Huntsville. I'm pretty sure Black is not the only nightclub, lounge, cigar lounge that's in Huntsville. Where was Stormy and Sunny? No, where was Stormy and Destiny when they met up? That had to have been a little nightclub or something. Where was the place that Nell had for her birthday? That was like a nightclub or something. So y'all thinking too highly of yourselves if you think that Black was the biggest thing to ever happen in Huntsville. It probably is one of them. Very happy to have. But if you don't appreciate and work to keep it up, nobody's going to care. But they're all about, the city don't care about us. We're paying all this money. They don't care about us. Blah, blah, blah. So Tisha's asking Marceau, so what's going to happen? What are we going to do? He wants to fight it, sue back, because it's all about keeping with this legacy. He ain't about to be moved out of nowhere. But the way that Tisha was trying to show him some comfort and support in that scene, I don't think Marceau recognized it. Because he ain't about, thanks, baby, I appreciate it. He's all about, yeah, I'm going to fight it. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do this. It's just like the more and more Marceau talks, the more he sounds more stupid. And, you know, it's just like, well, because I would say, is Black the main income for your family along with the show? That's what Tisha's probably concerned about. But you know what? Right now, he ain't selling. He ain't about to move out of nowhere. He's going to sue the city. Okay, fine. Then, I don't know. When it came down to lick the boots and people want them to kiss other people's ass to be a part of the community. But Marceau, you got it twisted. You want people to lick your boots, give credit to you. You have that entitlement, that because you want the ability to throw it back in other people's faces of what you've done for them. But you don't know how to take your pride out and be a better asset to the community, be a better helpmate to the community. So you can miss me with that. Then you talking about the comeback group. I'm like, y'all passionate about the comeback group, but y'all didn't even think about completing the comeback group when Melly left. Y'all needed her to come back. But either way, I ain't got time. That whole scene was just annoying me. Like, it's like, oh my God, so drawn out, as if no one knew this was closed. But y'all knew y'all had to come up with a scene so y'all can talk about it. But for me, this is still not the city's fault. This is how Marceau and Tisha don't be about their business. That's what that is. Moving on from there, we end off with Trish. Trish is preparing dinner with Ken. Ken comes home from driving on the road. I can get how that feels. My husband's a truck driver. And she talks about having a conversation with Marquez. It went better than expected. She said, I could have received a better apology, but the main talking points was for them to have a conversation about being better co-parents, him getting out of his feelings when it comes to Kim being part of his kids' lives, and got the approval from the children, but it was a bit awkward when it came down to her sisters. And I don't know, Trish, no. Ken talked about how it could have broke his heart too if he was to hear how his daughter would be bragging about another man that's not him. But at the same time, if you have been active, you've been a part of your kids' lives like you say you would, then I don't think I can feel sorry for you. You left your kids, bruh, at a very crucial time of their lives. You left them. So if her daughter have developed a relationship with Ken where she can call him, she wonders where he's at, when is he coming home, versus then wondering where her dad is, because she doesn't look at you as her dad. You got to earn that right to be called that again. So this is where you messed up. So trying to establish a better dynamic for their family. We get to the Martell situation. Stormy tell her that Martell did admit that she did go to his house. Now, people were like mad that she didn't tell the truth when she went to Stormy and Destiny. That, no, because I'm sorry, I gotta fix that part. She did say that she did not go to Martell's house when she met up with Stormy and Destiny. So in this case, she told Ken, I did in fact go to his house. I thought that it was her trying to make sure her man knew, not her girls. Because then it would still make Ken look like a fool that he did not know this, but her girls knew. That's how I took it. The more Trish held her eyes closed, the more that she didn't want to look at Ken, the more it's like, girl, you lying or you really having a hard time being communicative. And this was around the time that Martell and Mel were going through the separation. he reached out to Trish in the DMs. She's trying to console him, trying to give him advice. Obviously, something happened. He didn't like it. They argued, but apparently from him not liking what she said, because she just went through a separation as well, she can get how maybe there's some things you can't fix with her, but I don't know if I can fix it with mine. It still did not work out. I don't remember. So I loved it when hearing Ken say, you guys are both at fault for allowing this to be as big as it was. Y'all got this back and forth. At first, he's saying he don't know you. He's saying you look different, and then you've been in my house. As a man, you gotta say how this makes me feel. If I did the same thing with someone that you knew, knowing that it's been a while since I've seen her, but there was a time where she invited me over to her house, but I never told you. But everybody else knows and you don't. You can look like, how about you didn't tell me? So I can definitely get that. He don't like nobody playing in his face. He knows how his demeanor could be. He's saying I could be the nicest person, but I can also be the meanest person. So he's asking all the right questions because I agree with everything that he is saying. You wait until now to say this. I don't know if Trish was not prepared for this, but like she said, I knew it was going to come out soon. I should have just said it out loud. Once he acted like he did not know me, I should have just said, you know me. You slid in my DMs to see what was up. Nothing happened between us. It was 4 years ago. Shut it down. Before there was any sneaky suspicion going on that might have had something that might have, shown or might have, read that something did happen between y'all. That's why she regrets not saying nothing beforehand, because she do feel like Martell used it as fuel to make it seem as something did happen between them. Of course he did. The more he acted like he didn't know her, the more subliminals he put out there. Trish should definitely have been more honest about it. She should have. Not telling the whole story is her biggest regrets. Because you could have made him look like a fool and your conscience would have been clear that you didn't do nothing. You already told your man what happened. He know from the get-go what's going on. He's going to allow Martell to just crash and burn. Because he said, your past is your past. I ain't got nothing to hold against you. As if I didn't have a past before we met. This was 4 years ago. This was before me. Why would I get mad about something that happened before me? So there's that. But then it's all about him making sure we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to move forward. I can't defend you if I don't know what's going on. You keeping things from me and allowing other people to look at me and play with me, I ain't got time for it. If you want me and you be on the same team, then you got to let me know. Let me know up front, because if they want to come at me about some things that they assume I don't know, I can hit them with the one-hitter quitter and say, you know what, she already told me. It is what it is. Next. Period, Ken. Period. So that's going to make me not trust my relationship, and that's not going to work. So again, don't do that again. He said, I get it, you are a private person, but you got to stop allowing what other people might judge you, what they might say about you, because the more you look like nothing happened, or the more you want to be private, the more it could look you holding more secrets. So again, he's very big on communication, and I hear it. Everything that Ken say is about her being more mature, about her showing growth, and for her to take accountability about allowing this to fester for so long, I'm happy. Like I just said, he gets it, you private, but the way it could be perceived, how private you are, it could be perceived as you being secretive. How you don't like to talk about certain things because people are not going to believe you. Kind of like now. People do not believe that nothing happened between Trish and Martell 4 years ago. They don't believe it because of her demeanor. She keeps her eyes closed. She don't look straight at you. Her teeth is so tightly tight. You know what I'm saying? Her mouth don't be moving. It's like, man, Trish, you got to figure that out, baby. But that is it. That is all I have to give for this episode. Again, they're going on 3-week hiatus. I'm going to give my thoughts on it in a later episode. But y'all, that's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.